Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, 4 graded stakes races on tap on Canadian International Sunday at Woodbine. Let's take a look at the field of the first of the 4. Race number 6, the Grade 2 Nearctic. $250,000 is the purse. We're traveling 6 furlongs on the turf. There is a field of 8. I want to start down towards the inside with Dowses Beach for trainer Brad Cox. When Christophe Clement had this horse, they were reluctant to go to the lead and use this horse's speed. That's sort of the Clement way. And this horse ran fine in some races, but just could never really achieve his potential. I wonder if Brad Cox saw that, because he claimed him for 62.5 and then immediately put him on a chooch in his next 3 starts, resulting in 2 wins and a narrow loss in the Grade 2 Play the King over the E.P. Taylor turf course. Boy, last time out in the Lucky Coin, you were absolutely right. You were against this horse. He loomed turning into the stretch, and there was just nothing there.
Yeah, that was not a good trade. Not only that because he was right there with every chance to win, but he got such a perfect trip, tracking a big long shot on the lead, and he just, for whatever reason, didn't. I don't want to be too hard on him because he just clearly didn't fire his best shot in that race. If he has run his races 2 or 3 back, he may very well have won that day, but he didn't do it. And I'm just not a big fan of his. I get what you're saying. They've sort of allowed him to use his speed. It's paid off for them. Maybe they'll do that here in a wire this field. Dan, I just don't like him that much. I don't think he's that good. And I don't think he's as good as those figures 2 and 3 back suggest.
As more of a fan of Dowses Beach than you, I wanted to say, boy, the 5.5 might be short, but it's not like there was a fast pace.
No.
He was just up and on it, and the way he was traveling into the stretch, it looked like Rajiv thought he had plenty of horse, and there was just nothing there. In your selection, We Dear You at a nice price came and beat him. The 5th horse came back from that race, ready for ride, or on second in the Belmont Turf Sprint last weekend with a 96 buyer. Let's talk about White Flag, still in the Clement barn. Christophe Clement is a great formulator fact here. Over the past 4 years with 3-year-olds and up turf sprinters that won their last race, now making the second start off the layoff, 8 for 15 and over a $5 return on investment. I love the way this colt won 2 starts back. I thought he was a cinch in the Allied forces. He took down a nice scalp in Big Handsome. He might need to be a little bit closer to the pace in this race, but I think this horse has got a ton of upside.
I do too. You know what? You were 100% right about him last time. I did not like him in the Allied forces. You did. I was 100% wrong. You were 100% right. He was really good in there, and he just outdueled Big Handsome, who's a pretty nice horse in his own right in the stretch. He's 3 for 3 sprinting. I think he has a perfect running style for this race. He'll just sort of sit somewhere off the pace. He won't be right on it, but he won't be too far off it either. This horse is just heading the right way now. And off that last one, I got to believe he can win right back.
Time form pace projector for the Grade 2 Nearctic Stakes has the number 5. That is Conquest Tsunami out there on the lead. And this horse has kind of found himself since being gelded earlier this year. He was on the pace last time out against San Nicola Thunder, who's okay. The 3rd finisher, Boreal Spirit, came back to run 2nd in the Bold Venture Stakes, a Grade 3 on synthetic with a 99 buyer speed figure. This horse's speed plays. I just wonder if Dowses Beach is going to let him get away with murder on the front end like this.
Yeah, true enough. I don't think he can just sort of get loose on the lead in this race. Not that he has to, but I feel like that's his really when he's at his best, is when he's able to get to the front and get control of the pace, and it may not happen for him here. He is a good sprinter, he is a good turf sprinter, and his best race gives him a chance, but it feels like the pace scenario might not work out that great for him.
Let's talk about a couple of the horses coming out of the aforementioned Bold Venture. The winner at Karen Road got a really nice inside-out trip to win it at 5-1, popped a 102 buyer speed figure. This has been a great claim from trainer Vito Armada. Took him for 32, now a graded stakes winner. But when you look in that career box and you see 5 for 7 on synth, 2 for 11 on turf, you wonder, I mean, is the reason he's been, maybe there's a disparity in the record because he's been going longer on turf and he's a sprinter at heart, or is it the synth?
I mean, I'd be willing to look at it that way. It does sort of feel like he's just a better synthetic horse, but I'd be willing to give him at least some benefit of the doubt because basically all of his turf form is going longer, and I don't really feel like he wants to go long. I think he wants to sprint. He got a good trip last time, but he was awful good winning that race. That was a pretty nice performance.
Turf debut for the 3 Circle of Friends, who reeled off 4 in a row to kick off his 3-year-old campaign, and then he went to the sidelines for a little bit. Now, since he's returned, he has not seemed like the same horse. Now the blinkers are on. Now he's trying turf again. Is he ever going to get back to that good form?
I don't know if he is, and if he is, I don't know if it's going to be first time turf, because I don't know if this horse can run on turf at all. To me, he just seems like a pretty bad bet in a race that looks pretty tough and pretty wide open.
Mark Casse is the horse on the outside. That's Field of Courage, and Field of Courage ran really well last time out, going 2 turns on the synth in the Elgin Stakes. Melnick's been a revelation this year. He's always been a good horse. He came back to win his 5th in a row, the Durham Cup with a 97 Beyer speed figure. But like at Karen Road, you see 5 for 13 on synth, 0 for 2 on turf. One of those races came in the 1.5 mile Breeders' Stakes. You don't want to hold that against him, but I wonder if he's more of a synth runner.
Yeah, the other turf race, you're right. The one of them you don't care about the 1.5 mile race, but his other one was at 6.5 over this turf guy's allowance horses, and you know, he ran fine, but it's pretty clear that they went right back to synth after that, and this horse really improved back on synthetic. It feels like that might be his surface.
Pick time for the Grade 2 Nearctic, the first of 4 graded stakes races at Woodbine on Sunday. Tell us about the 6 Yorkton. This horse has big early speed. I didn't like the field he beat last time out in the King Corey Stakes, but he earned a career best Beyer speed figure, and you take away that Bruce D Memorial at Arlington over the poly track, not the Tapeta, not the turf. Boy, he's done nothing wrong recently.
Yeah, he hasn't. The field wasn't great last time, and he got a really soft trip. He got right to the front in there. He was loose, and they just never got anywhere near him. He was way too good at that point. But I thought he ran well. The other thing, he has a little bit of that, like we were talking about with Karen Road, where his turf races, well, he doesn't have a great record on turf, but all of his turf races are going long. I think this horse is a sprinter, and I think he's actually a pretty good one. I liked his stakes win on the turf 3 starts back in the Charlie Barley. It was going maybe a little longer than he wants to go, but I just love, I mean, he jumped well from the gate, but I just love the way he settled off the pace. He tracked it 3 wide, and then he took over in the stretch. I'm not so sure, he's good on synth. I'm not so sure he isn't a better turf horse. Anyway, when I watch him run on turf, I like his action a lot more on the grass, and I love that they're going to give him a chance to sprint on the turf here.
Two of the reasons why European horses often come over here and thrive. 1, Lasix, 2, they need firm ground.
Yeah.
Cote Glory's getting both. He's a Group 3 winner over there. Maybe it doesn't sound so great, but he was 3rd in the Nunthorpe, a Group 1, 3 starts back. Caught that soft ground he didn't like, 2 back, and he tried really, really hard in his most recent start, only beaten 3/4 of a length in a Group 3. He is a hard-trying sort, and again, he's not this one-run closer. I don't expect him to be close to a fast pace here. I think he's going to be running late. Not the biggest win machine in the world. And the only question I have is 6. His best races have come 5, 5.5. Right. I wonder if he gets the 6 here, though, with the right pace setup. This horse, you know, you look at him and he looks like he's completely exposed. We know what he is. I think he's pretty good, and this is the right field.
Yeah, it's not the strongest field. I think you're right about that. I worried about the 5, from the stretch out to 6 from 5 and 5.5 for him. And I also, you know, I hate these horses that just never win. He never seems to win, but you can't really knock his form. Even though he hasn't been winning, you can't really knock what he's been doing over there. He's a pretty rock-solid sprinter, this horse.
Really fun turf sprint here. Mike's going to go with the 6 Yorkton, and his top 4 selections are 6, 2, 4, and 5. I'll take the Euro. The 7, Cotai Glory, and I'll go 7, 2, 4, and 3 in the Grade 2 Nearctic. Race number 6 at Woodbine on Sunday has an approximate post time of 3:48 Eastern. Good luck.